What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about something that's super scary. Is that too much? What? I'm gonna start over. What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about something that's super important for your business if you have garage insurance. I want to talk about cyber liability coverage. Hopefully you've never even thought of this coverage at all. And if you have, it's because your insurance agent currently probably said, you need this, and you went, that sounds like something in a science fiction movie, I'm not gonna do it. But really what this is it's coverage from getting hacked. You've all seen the news, you've all seen this happening to big companies all over the place, and most of us think this is something that's never going to happen to us. This is something that's going to happen to a huge company with lots and lots of information, valuable information that hackers want to steal. But what we don't understand is that those big companies have tons of security. I bet your business doesn't. So let's talk exactly about what this looks like for small businesses, specifically businesses in the auto industry, and then we can talk about how cyber liability is actually a super important coverage that you really do need. All right, let's go over the basics. Most of your businesses aren't going to be Fort Knox when it comes to cybersecurity. And for most of us, we have websites that tell everyone exactly what kind of business we do. We have personal data that are on our computers. We have business data that are on our computers. And we also have client data that is on our computers. So we've got some really valuable stuff and we have ways to access it. I mean, if you think about it, you probably have Wi-Fi in your waiting room, and you could have someone in a laptop right there who actually knows what they're doing, who could get in pretty easily. Now that we've talked about the risk factor of having a small business in this digital age, let's look at the kinds of attacks that happen to small businesses, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I'm not gonna get into everything that could possibly happen to your business. I'm gonna go over just a few things. Now, I go into more detail in the blog about this. The simple fact of the matter is that one of the most common things you're gonna deal with is ransomware. Now, ransomware is where an intruder gains access to your system and they take part of your data and they encrypt it, which means basically they lock it away behind a code so that if you don't know the password, you don't know the code, you can't get to that data. And then they hold it ransom. They demand lots of money, typically in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, in order to give you back your data, and they hold your business hostage. This is a huge problem that happens to thousands of people every year here in the United States. It's happening all over the world. You have no way of knowing where these people are from, and they love targeting small businesses because they know that they're easy to break into and they can be crippled with one simple attack. This is a huge thing. There's actually a link to the FBI and their take on this if you go to the blog, but it is a terrible, terrible attack that happens all the time. Now, the other major kind of attack I'm going to talk about is malware. Now, most of these attacks are malware. Malware is essentially any sort of a harmful program that gets access to your system and then does something bad while it's in there, right? So things like a Trojan horse, if you've ever heard of that, that's a malware program that gives someone access to your system from a distance, right? So there are multiple ways you can become the victim of an attack, and there are multiple kinds of attacks that happen to small businesses every day. So like I said, check out the blog for a little more information, and let's go ahead and go on to the next step. So why would anyone want to attack your business? What are they looking for? Well, it turns out there's a lot of valuable information. Information is the main thing that people want to steal. Most people don't just go in there, grab cash, and run out. That's called a bank robbery. What most hackers want are three things. The first thing, they want your client's information. They want your client's financial information so that they can sell that to someone who specializes in identity theft. Sometimes they are identity thieves who do this, but usually what happens is they'll steal large banks of data, they'll sell that data to someone who specializes in identity theft, and then let them do their thing. Your client information, that's the first thing. The second thing is your own business financial information, your business data, because then they can do all kinds of things. They can charge things to your accounts. They can steal directly in that kind of bank robbery way we were talking about. They can falsify information. They can hijack it and hold it ransom like we talked about before. So your personal financial information is the second thing that they usually look for. Now, the third thing is security access itself. If they get access to your system, that means that they can use you to get access to other systems. So for example, if they get into your system, maybe they want to gain access to all the people in your waiting room who connect to your Wi-Fi. Or maybe they want to gain access really to the big company that you represent. So if you're a car dealer, they want to gain access to Ford or Chevy or Jaguar or whatever that is. Maybe they want to gain access to whatever company you buy tires from. They want to go after Goodyear. So this is another way for them to monopolize off of your security breaches by getting access into your system and using actually the security setup itself in order to go on and infect other systems. So those are the three main reasons that you find intruders targeting small businesses in the auto industry. Okay, so I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, look, I don't have a lot to steal on the internet. The worst thing that's gonna happen to me is they're gonna shut me down for a few days. It's gonna be annoying. I do all of my business word of mouth. This doesn't affect me. Get this guy out of here. The simple fact of the matter is, it could cost you a lot more than you think. The nature of these attacks is that they are pervasive, they're widespreading. It ends up affecting a lot more people than just you, and those people can sue you. So estimates are that by 2020, the average data attack is going to cost a business upwards of $150 million. That includes small businesses. I'm not just talking about these gigantic companies and their data breaches. So a cyber attack on a small business could cost you an absolute fortune, especially if your client starts suing you, because the simple fact of the matter is, people expect you to be responsible for your own data security. Your cybersecurity is your responsibility. So what are you supposed to do? Well, I'm gonna do another blog and video later about how you can be more secure against cyber attacks. But for now, what I want to talk about is, what does cyber liability do to help get you back on your feet if you have been attacked? Just like general liability, cyber liability protects you in a whole slew of ways that can really get you back on your feet. The first thing it can do is pay for legal expenses. So if you do get sued as a result of one of these attacks, you're covered, your lawyers are going to be covered, your fees are going to be covered in court. You will be protected from that risk. If you have direct financial losses from an attack, you're also covered in that way. So if they do come in and rob the bank, so to speak, you're going to be covered. The bank will be refilled. Another way that this protects you is if you get fined by some sort of government regulation or government body. Because like I said, you are responsible for the cyber security of your business, and you could be fined for not holding up your end of the bargain on that. So there's a lot of ways in which this covers it. It does so much that I'm not going to be able to cover everything that it does in a short period of time, but what you can be sure of is that cyber liability, if you are cyber attacked, will get you back on your feet and help to protect you and help to reimburse you so that you're not out of business. So go ahead, click the link below, and let's get you set up with a garage insurance specialist. At Alliance, we always recommend cyber liability insurance. It doesn't matter what kind of business you have, but we always recommend it for our garage insurance clients just like you. So go ahead, let's get you set up. Let's talk about this so we can make sure you're protected from things you may not have even known you were exposed to, like cyber liability. All right, lecture over. Thanks again for listening, guys, and we'll talk soon.